Alright, dudes. Fanatics Tower, down. And we are on to the final review. So, before we get started, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, I wanted to shout out a couple of my subscribers who have started doing Beyond Chaos runs of their own on their channels. Definitely check them out. Black Omen, who, if you remember, was actually one of our characters in the Final Fantasy Tactics Pseudo Randomizer 2, and a friend of the channel, and Che Plays. So I've checked out a few of your guys' videos, and they're really freaking cool. I was really happy when I saw Che Plays did a Narsh review. That was really cool. I'm glad that other people have started taking, you know, the Narsh review, Tomasa review, final review stuff and doing their own, because I think it's really important if you want to get people into Beyond Chaos to kind of, you know, express what you think about the characters as you go through, instead of little bits and pieces, right, of just what you think of them as you're playing. When you get to do something like this kind of review, you get to really break down what you think of everything, and it also makes you a better player. Just from experience, every time I do a Narsh review, there's certain things that repeat from previous seeds, because I've had to sit there and break them down and just remember them so many times that each subsequent playthrough you learn more and more, and your knowledge base grows, just because you're observing the characters in different ways now, right? And their skills and potential and stuff. So that was really cool. And Black Omen, your videos, the stories you're coming up with are really neat. I love that you the opera, man, the opera episode where you said, I don't believe, I think I can say with confidence I've never danced with a cat. And I put a comment in your section like, I cannot say the same, because me and Fury Cat have danced a couple of times. And mostly because I've been playing music and he was like next to me, and I'm like, hi Fury, boom, here you are. And yeah, that's my cat, dude. I love him. He's a good boy. Anyway, yeah, I'm really glad to see those kind of channels growing, and I'm really glad to see more people getting into Beyond Chaos, and more than I've ever seen before, you know, on the Beyond Chaos Barracks Discord. You know, I could be talking about something totally different, responding to somebody like, you know, Hawksnorf, Cecil, whoever it is on the Discord, just about anything, and I'll get a response from someone else saying, yo, Two-Tone, I love your videos, you're the reason I got into Beyond Chaos, thanks a lot, man. And it's like, that's really cool. I'm so glad so many people are playing Beyond Chaos now. It is easily my favorite game to play on the channel, so either way, now that I've said all that, definitely go check out their channels, because they're really cool people, and they deserve reviews as much as I do. But also, 600 subscribers, I think I said that in a previous episode, but that's really cool. Welcome to everybody who's come along, and, you know, catching up on all the content, especially to know the context of some of my later seeds and stuff, because there's a lot of throwbacks. But yeah, thank you guys very much. Anyway, let's just get into this final review. Let me remind you, we do it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being totally useless, 10 being absolutely essential to our team, and we are just starting right here with Vader. Actually, there's one more thing to say. The story of this one took a gigantic backseat, mostly because this World of Ruin has been ridiculous, and I've been preoccupied with getting my butt kicked. But anyway, we'll talk more about that later. So Vader. Let's talk about Vader. So, it should be noted that last episode, well, the grinding episode, actually no, after the Fanatics Tower is when I went and did this. I got everybody that can equip, or that can learn it. I got everybody Merton. So Vader has Merton now. Every single person with a magic command in my team has Merton, because that's what the Paladin Shield was teaching, and anyone who could not equip the Paladin Shield by themselves, I just merit awarded. Also, we went and we bought a bunch of Trump cards from Kalingen, and we were able to trade them in at the Coliseum for X-Ethers. So we have those. I also got all of the things we'll probably need. 99 tonics. I probably need to go find smoke bombs, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, we'll do that before we go into the tower. Also, we have our one piece of dried slug meat still. I forgot we had that. Anyway, so let's talk about Vader. Alright, question mark drain. Pretty much useless for the whole game. It had a couple of niche uses, but again, you have to take damage for it to be useful. It's random drain skills, and it does it a random number of times. So if you drain once and you get all your HP back and he does 3 more drain skills, it's useless. So kind of a crappy skill for Vader to get, although it is a little bit thematic for like the dark side of the Force draining thing. That's pretty cool. But as far as his weapons and stuff, rods, he can use the elemental shields. He can't equip the paladin shield, sadly. But we had him with a cat hood during grinding just to get some EXP or some money. I'm sorry. And red jacket so he can be immune to Merton and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, Vader, as cool as you are, and as badass as you are in everything, ever, forever, he is my favorite Sith Lord. You are probably, by now, you gotta be like one of the worst characters you got. You're probably a 3, dude. I mean, you have Merton, but everyone that has a magic command has Merton, so I'm not taking that into account, really. So, yeah. Sorry, buddy, you're 3. Alright, Samus. This is gonna be a huge juxtaposition here, actually. So, Samus is awesome. So, Samus has fight lore magic item. Basically, Strago. The thing is, right now, lore, we almost have a complete list. We are only missing Grand Train, which I have no idea where that is, and I don't remember what this skill is, but we don't have it. But we have almost a full lore list, not even like going out of our way to look for lores, just getting them. So yeah, and we have Quasar. We got Quasar from the Opera House Dragon, and that's basically what she's been doing for damage. And then her magic list is ridiculous. Cure, Cure 2, Cure 3, and Life. So just a nice suite of support magic. And then, of course, Merton, but we're not taking that into account. Fire 2, Bolt 2, Ice 3. Ice 3 is really nice. Float, great. She learned to spell naturally, which is really, really nice in case somebody gets berserk or something stupid. Reflect, great utility spell. Scan kind of helps us out sometimes if we run into enemies with wall change. She's just really good. And her espers she can equip are pretty much all speed and HP. I think the only one that was useless was Shiva because it's speed 1 and we've got 2 speed 2 espers. Her speed's redonkulous. She is at 72 speed, she gets a turn way faster than anyone else, and she's not even equipped right now, so she can't equip the Paladin Shield by itself, she can equip the Illumina, but we've been giving her the Atma weapon because of her gigantic HP pool. Yeah, so she's really, really good. And probably at least a 9. I'd say a 9. Because great spell list, but we don't have Grand Train, we got Quasar. If she had gotten Grand Train, she'd probably be a 10. Okay, so, moving on. Zack, my dude. Zack, this is easily his best iteration that we've had, because we've gotten Zack a couple of times. But, way more useful than it should have been. W Death has been great. Our fire's pretty good too. Rolling Flare Star and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And if something's hurt by fire, it's free damage for the whole fight. But it's single element. Gets worse over time, the more things absorb it. But W Death has been crushing it. There's so many things that were hit by Raiden, hit by X-Zone, stuff like that. He cleaved Rex Soul, which I didn't even know could happen, because typically you don't go there with sword tech, and you definitely don't go there with sword tech at cleave. So I was rolling W Death trying to get X-Zone to beat Rexol the easy way, and he just cleaved him instead. So yeah, Zack is freaking awesome this game. His spell list is a little lacking on like the big stuff, but he's got Float and Quake, so that's always nice as a backup. That's kind of what we've been doing when we couldn't W-Death something, and if something was healed by fire. He's got Merton too, everyone will. He's got Bolt 3 and Fire 3. Doom can be okay sometimes, but we haven't really used it much, because why use Doom when we can W Death? But having Fire 3 and Bolt 3 is good. Cure 2 is great. I usually tend to prefer Cure 2 over Cure 3 for most of the game until the end. Around this time, I would like to have Cure 3, but Cure 2 is still fine, especially for healing outside of battle. But yeah, and then his Espers, Tritalk was the one we were using for the leveling up because it was giving him Magic Power +2. His Magic Power is sick now. He's got enough MP, I don't need to keep doing that. Madwin did Magic Power and Stamina, you know. I don't really use Espers that give Stamina up because Stamina really only does a couple of things in the game and it's not super important. But, yeah. And what he can equip, Illumina, Paladin Shield, Snow Muffler, Dark Hood, freaking great stuff. He can equip the Enhancer. Granted, it procs Cure 3 when I hit stuff with it, but it does give him Magic Power up. But so does the Illumina, and that's probably what he'll end up with. So, Zach, probably also a 9. He's pretty damn good. Actually, I'd give him an 8, because he doesn't have like a big dumb damage move like Samus does in Quasar. So I'd probably put him in an 8, but that's still pretty good. Alright, dude. Dude, W Sword is not as good as I hoped it would be. It rolls in power way too much. I don't know if I just got unlucky or if it just has a higher chance of rolling in power. And Empower sucks at full HP and kind of sucks even less than full HP because it only can do as, like right now, Empower as far as damage can only do at max 400 or 4,521 damage. He'd have to be at 1 HP for that to work. And he keeps double empowering it, so it's kind of pointless. Mimic is great. Mimic is always great. So he will be coming in to the tower with us because Mimic is just good. And he's got a magic command with Merton. But yeah, as far as his skills themselves, not great. He can equip a Paladin Shield, but his weapons suck. They're claws. Claws typically aren't that great. But yeah, dude, second iteration, definitely better than the first one, I think. But, yeah, just not what we're looking for, really. I would probably put him at a 5 because he has Mimic, and I'm just not even including W Sword in his rating because it's so not reliable. So you're a 5, dude. Alright, Steiner. Probably the one character we're not going to be able to give like a really good rating, like a nuanced rating, because I literally have only used him for the grinding session. I don't believe I'm bringing him into the tower with me because he does not have a magic command. He can't equip Espers, but he does have our Beast, and our Beast we have had before a couple of times. It is not a bad skill. Our Beast basically is a bunch of animal skills, right? So Cockatrice can roll from it, Womp can roll from it, Wombat can roll from it. It's a lot of really good skills. Kitty can roll from it, Wild Bear. It's got a good pool of skills, but it's unreliable at this late time. And we just got him so late. Had he been an early character with our Beast, he would have been crushing it. But all the options we have this time in the game, he's just not worth using, sadly. I love Final Fantasy IX. I love pretty much every character from that game, including Steiner. I think he was freaking hilarious. But, yeah, he's just, again, not what we're looking for. He can't equip the Tac Star, which is kind of neat, but, yeah, just based on what I remember from our Beast, I would probably make him a 4, at least, because our Beast is kind of okay. But no magic command and no great equipment, so sorry, Steiner, and no Espers. So, all right, Tella. Tella got us through some shit. All right, so he's our mime, and he did okay, especially with the Chatternook thing. He's got Gau's equip scheme, which sucks, but he can't equip the Paladin Shield, which is pretty good. So he's only as good as your characters are. Obviously, he's the mime. His mime stats aren't as bad as usual, though. I'm used to the magic power being like mid-20s on the mime, and 30 is okay. So we've kept him with lore for the most part. We haven't really used him again since we found a replacement for him on our main team. But yeah, he's not bad. He's definitely coming with us to the tower. So, I mean, it's Tella. It's the mime. I guess I would have to put him at like a 6 just because he's got Mimic naturally and he can use all of these commands. So yeah, I'd probably put him at, yeah, definitely a 6. All right, where are we going? Downstairs? Let's go downstairs. Move, dude. All right, let's just do it now. Chrono, my dude, my guy. My favorite character we've got in this run, definitely. Number 1, he's Chrono. Main character in my favorite game of all time. Duh, I'm gonna like him. He's awesome. And he rolled being able to equip katanas, which is even more thematic and great. He can equip the Paladin Shield, got a Snow Muffler, all that stuff. He is our Berserker. The Berserker is always good no matter what, pretty much. It really comes down to what the Berserker can equip and what their Blizzard Orb does. In this case, okay, so the rating for Berserkers is always between 8 and 10, right? So it'll be an 8 if they're the Berserker but can't equip great weapons, right? So that's an 8. A 9 is a Berserker who can equip great weapons. Freaking awesome. A 10 is a Berserker that can equip great weapons and has a good Blizzard Orb attack. Chrono falls under that category. His Blizzard Orb is actually doing freaking shrapnel, which is non-elemental damage, can be single target or multi-target. You will never be upset if he does that instead of tackling or something. We also have a Rage Ring. There's a good chance that at the final battle we'll probably give him the Rage Ring just because we want the chucking damage more than we want shrapnel at that point. But through the tower he'll probably have the Blizzard Orb. If not, he'll have a Ribbon. He can equip Espers. His Espers are great for him, except for Alexander and Palador. So Shote is HP plus 30%. Having a ton of HP on your Berserker is awesome. And then Phoenix, speed plus 2. So his speed is getting ridiculous too. The only thing that sucks is he can equip Phoenix. He doesn't have magic. He's learning quick. Ugh. I haven't checked to see if anyone else can equip Phoenix yet, but I'm pretty sure it is Chrono only, I would imagine. But Chrono is a 10 in this. He is our number 1 character we've gotten. He's gotten through some bullshit that I didn't want to deal with, and he just wrecked face. I mean, the SR Behemoth fight where he took that poison frog, and I walked a couple of feet, and he went down to 1 HP, and everyone else was dead. Chrono made it through. So, rock and roll. Alright, Kelga. Kelga is going to get a decent rating. I've liked him all game. I really like Kelga. He's my favorite of the Dawn Warriors. But our wind kind of fell off after a while. Obviously, any skill that is a single element, even if it's random ones, not going to last long as far as being good. He is our Ultima user, however. He learned Ultima from Bahamut. And it was also an EXP Egg Esper, which is nice. But, yeah. And he's got Cure 2, Cure 3. So he can Cure us, and he can do the biggest non-elemental damage in the game outside of Goner. And so, the only problem with Kelga is we basically have to equip him with stuff to bring his magic power up. Because right now, his magic power is 19 base, with nothing equipped. So we have to give him stuff that raises his magic power, such as the Thunder Shield, and a Magus Hat, and the Red Jacket. Well, the Light Robe gives him more. So 27 right now is kind of the max he can get to, which is not great. So being able to cast Ultima, good. Being able to only do like 3,000 to 4,000 damage with Ultima, not so great. So anyway, that's Kelga. He is our Ultima user, so I have to give him a good rating. I'm going to call him a 7, because our wind is basically a dead skill, and his weapons aren't that good, and we have to have a certain suite of equipment on him to make his magic power worth using Ultima with. So, yeah. Definitely a 7. Okay, so, moving on. Stiltskin. We have not used him at all in the World of Ruin. In the World of Balance, he was okay. He was throwing Bismarck a lot, because that's one of his skills. Our Blitz, we haven't barely used, even like when we were using him, because Spiraler is an option there. He doesn't have a magic command, and The espers he can equip are a butt ton of really good ones, but he doesn't have a magic command. So, there you have it. We gave him basically Ragnarok just for the HP plus 100%. Chances are, he might not be joining us in the tower. I don't know. But, yeah, as far as the stuff he can equip, lances, he's basically to me, he looks like just a Mog equip scheme. And, I mean, his stats aren't terrible. 45 magic power is okay, but when you don't have a magic command, who cares? You're doing Bismarck and you're doing water damage and something absorbs it. Great, you gotta rely on R-Blitz or your attacks. So, risk of Spiraler, risk of crap damage with your weapon. So Stiltskin's probably a 4, I would say. Yeah, I'd probably put him right there. Sorry, Stiltskin. You could have been really good, but oh well, maybe next time. I love Final Fantasy IX, so. Alright, Magus. Let's talk about Magus, because it has been an up and down journey with this dude. Number 1, from Chrono Trigger, and one of my favorite characters, one of most people's favorite characters from Chrono Trigger. So let's talk about X Magic. X Magic sucks if you don't have a way to reduce MP consumption. I don't care how good it is to cast 2 spells. If you don't have the MP consumption reduction stuff, you're going to run out of MP fast and you're going to be cursing it. Also, when you want to cast 1 spell and not 2, you don't have a choice. You have to cast 2. So, the fact that it's stuck on him and we can't just give it to him means that we will always cast 2 spells. He also has kind of crap magic power for having X Magic. Now, morphing helps there if you're doing elemental damage, but morph doesn't help with things like Ultima or Meteor if we even get it. But he didn't get any of those. The other utility skill he had is Reflect, which we did use in some situations, and that was pretty cool, but now it's kind of pointless. We'll see if it does anything when we're in the tower, because Magus is definitely going. The espers he has. Fenrir, Pearl and Cure 3, his magic list is pretty good. Cure, Cure 2, Cure 3, just like Samus. No life spell, but all the Cure spells. He's of course got Merton. Pearl is what we were basically defaulting to when we double spelled, because it was his strongest spell, and I mean, a lot of the time it didn't do any damage because something absorbed Pearl element. So he doesn't have any of the level 3 elemental spells, so when he morphs, he's literally getting like just the tiniest boost on this stuff. So yeah, having Merton now might change things, but we'll have to see. Casting double Merton is pretty cool, but it's also mana intensive. And Dispel is nice to have too. But yeah, Magus, despite how cool he is, despite how cool it is that he got X Magic, I mean, dang man, you got the short end of the stick, my guy. Optimum up, he's got Paladin Shield, he can use Gambler stuff, but we have not found Fixed Dice. We've only found Dice. Yeah, so even with all that stuff equipped, his magic power is only 29. He's not doing a lot when he does magic, so... Magus, you have potential to be like a 10, my guy. If we ever found an Economizer, holy crap. Like, if the perfect world, if we found an Economizer and Magus could learn Ultima, double 1 MP Ultimas, even with his crap magic power, would be amazing. But as it is, he's got to be an 8, I think. I think he's an 8. Okay. So, X-Death. X-Death saved us and made it so we could beat the Fanatics Tower. I love him and curse him for that, because there's always this moment when I'm grinding, like, please no one learn Life 3. I don't want to go up it. And then he's like, yo, I heard you like Life 3, brother. And it's like, damn it. But anyway, his spell suite's okay. Having float's nice. The thing about his skills, level 5 Doom was really nice to just throw out against mobs that you haven't seen in an area before if you don't know their levels by heart, right? So you throw level 5 Doom, it might hit, it might clear the team. If not, it misses, then you know for the rest of that dungeon what groups not to try level 5 Doom on. Pretty cool. Our water, single element, so immediately takes a hit for usefulness, but it's all AoE, so that kind of makes up for a little bit. At least in the World of Balance, because in the World of Ruin, there's so many things, many enemies that can like get hurt by it and not get hurt by it, that even though it's AoE, you're going to kill one thing and heal 2 other things. But it has El Nino, Clean Sweep, Aqua Rake, and Bismarck in the list. And he really likes summoning Bismarck. Let me tell you, this man is a fan of whales. But anyway, yeah, our water is okay, I guess. It's not the best skill we could have rolled, but it's really nice that he got 2 semi-useful skills and a magic command. He cannot equip the Paladin Shield by itself. We have 2 merit awards. That may have to be something we do for him. His magic power is also sort of on the lower end. It's barely out of the 20s, but yeah, he's basically going to be Mertoning. Life 3 might be helpful in the final battle. We'll have to see. But, yeah, X-Death, you got Life 3, you got some decent skills. Course Around Move's the only good Esper you can equip, giving you HP plus 10%, and you still only made it up to 4,800. You're like a 6, dude. I gotta say, you're a 6. But, good job, man. Glad to see you. Okay, Cammy. We haven't used her since we got her back from the Phoenix Cave, so all I really have to go on is the World of Balance performance and the grind session. So our element, alright? Our element is pretty bad now. There's pretty much no time I want to use it. She's probably going to be down to doing Merton and whatever she can attack with, which will probably give her the Illumina, actually, for whatever team she's on if we bring her, because that's going to be the best thing she can do, which is sad. And her magic power is the worst on the entire roster. 17 magic power without anything equipped. So even if we were to pull a good R element out of there, the max damage we'd do would be crap. And Merton probably isn't even going to do much. So, Cammy, you're probably way down the list at like a 3. I think you're there with Vader. But you are awesome, and I like you, because you're a Street Fighter character. And the only good stat she has is speed. 88 speed, she's getting turns real fast. But, yeah, definitely like a 4. Okay, Rufus. Rufus has really screwed us a lot in this game by summoning Crusader accidentally, because his skill is our Esper, which summons a random Esper, and Crusader is in that list. And a lot of times it was really hard to get one that we needed at the time because there's so many Espers. I mean, we don't even have all of them, and look at him, you know? Crazy. But, yeah. So, and as far as what he can equip, Paladin Shield Illumina, you know the deal. And Magic Command, you also know the deal. Merton's all he's got. Haste is kind of nice, that's about it. But yeah, like, just throwing our Esper, it helps sometimes, it hurt more times than it helped. So, yeah. Rufus, my favorite character from FF7 that's not playable. I'm not gonna let that affect my rating of you, man. Plus, I really don't like your new portrait. Yeah, our Esper, you're probably a 5, man. You gotta be a 5, because that's too random. If you roll something good, you become like a 9. If you roll Crusader, you become like a 0. So, yeah. You're a 5. Okay, and last character we have to rate. We definitely did not save the best for last. Frickin' Minwoo. I like that we had a representation of Final Fantasy II in this one in some way, shape, or form, because we've had Leon and Maria before from FF2, which is really cool. And I was excited to see Minwoo, because I think he's a badass. But he did not get the Ultima Tome. He's not our Ultima user. And he didn't get a magic command. So he has Imp Song, which barely hits, but if it does, it turns him into imps. Whatever, not a great freaking skill. Slow 2, you might think, hey, Slow 2 isn't bad. Like, as a command, that's pretty neat. Except for the fact that it is an all-target Slow 2, which means your enemies and you. So it Slow 2s everything on screen, which is horse shit. And as far as what he can equip, hey, Paladin Shield, hey, who cares, because you're not even worth bringing with us. And what really sucks is he has Corinne, which is a very thematic Esper for him, because he's a white mage. Cure and Cure 2 would have been nice to have, but no magic command, buddy. So, Minwoo, sucks butt. Gonna have to make you a 1, my guy. The only reason you're not a 0 is because you can equip the Paladin Shield, but what are you gonna do? Nothing. That's what. We'd have to give you a merit award to make you even kind of good, and no. So yeah, Minwoo, big fat 0. So, now that the characters are out of the way, this World of Ruin has, in recent memory, I don't know if I go back far enough to some old seeds, I might think of worse ones, but, I mean, Quasar Mammoth, Mount Zozo was pretty bad in that one seed, but this World of Ruin has been one of the hardest ones I've ever fought against. And I think a lot of it is the single relic per character rule, which we have not broken, and the fact that I was quite under-leveled when I got to the World of Ruin. Like, we were in mid-20s. Typically, when you're in the World of Ruin, you want to be early to mid-30s. That's kind of the ballpark of where it's still challenging, but you're not just getting destroyed, right? So, yeah, I would suggest, if you're going into the World of Ruin, try and be around 30s. Otherwise, you're going to struggle like I did in the beginning of this World of Ruin. We got trolled by so many things. The tentacles, freaking Foon Baba, collapsing house, oh my god. We beat the crap out of Dullahan, but everything after that kicked our butts. Regular enemies doing El Nino and shit on Mount Zozo. SR Behemoth. We could not complete a dungeon for a long time. Chatternook was the most painstaking Chatternook fight I've ever had, because the only good character I had was Chrono, and he's not controllable. And the one relic per character rule required me to really, really, like, work out who I wanted to have what equipped, because, wow, he was doing some dumb stuff. Either way, this seed has been fun, interesting, and frustrating. So, yeah, I am very sorry, by the way, if the story, like I said, has taken a little bit of a backseat. That is why. The World of Ruin required me to focus so hard on the game that my brain wasn't even going to, what's the story? Why are we finding this character here? What were they doing? It's not there. But we do know that Daryl has the schematics for the Shinra rocket that Rufus can build and get us the hell off this planet and back to our home worlds, because this planet sucks and it's hostile as fuck. And she's mad because he's gonna use the Falcon as a base, and that's her bird. It's not ours, it's hers. So hopefully we can get the hell off this planet and back where we belong. Next episode, well, not next episode, that's gonna be the climb up Kefka Tower, which, if history proves anything in this World of Ruin, Kefka's Tower is not going to be kind to us. So, we will have to see. Again, our characters are not all that good. I pretty much had to go and get everybody Merton, because that's going to be like our main thing for every team. We're going to have to juggle equipment. There's no getting around that. We don't have economizers. We don't have fixed dice. We barely have any really good equipment. It's going to be rough. We have 8 white capes, we have a ribbon, we have enough to get through, but it's still going to be rough. Hopefully the secret item in Kefka's Tower is really, really good, because we haven't gotten a really, really good one in a long time. Not since we got the red duster and back-to-back seeds. And I hope that Kefka doesn't double goner us and doesn't have any really annoying shit that he does. But regardless, Vader and the crew are heading into Kefka's Tower in the next episode, and I will see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Peace.